Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from 2005 carries. At first glance, it seems like nothing more than an ordinary coin, small, copper-plated steel, circulating through the hands of millions across the country. But as every collector knows, sometimes the most unassuming objects carry the most extraordinary tales. And today, on HD Ultra Rare Coins, we dive deep into the remarkable journey of this 2005 penny, its creation, its mysteries, its unexpected rise in rarity, and ultimately, how one specific example shocked collectors worldwide with a staggering value that almost no one could have predicted. Our story begins in the early 2000s. A time when the Royal Mint was transitioning into a new era of British coinage. Even though the large redesign of the British coins would not arrive until 2008, significant internal changes were already taking shape years prior. By 2005, the Royal Mint had fully switched to copper-plated steel pennies instead of the earlier bronze issues. This shift was driven not by aesthetics, but by economics. Rising copper prices made pure bronze production too costly, prompting the mint to adopt a cheaper but visually similar alternative. What few people realized at the time was that this shift would eventually create minute variations, minting anomalies, and subtle errors that collectors today search for obsessively. The portrait featured on the 2005 penny is the fourth definitive likeness of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. When it was introduced in 1998, the portrait was met with differing opinions. Some praised it for its realism, the deeper lines, the mature expression, the stronger resemblance to the Queen's appearance at the time, while others found it too bold, too plain, too direct. But there was no denying its clarity and the respect it commanded. By 2005, this portrait had become a familiar sight across British currency, symbolizing not only the enduring reign of Elizabeth II but also the modernization of British coinage. Turn the coin over and you'll find the iconic crown portcullis, a symbol famously associated with the Palace of Westminster. While simple in design, the portcullis carries centuries of historical significance. It is not merely a decorative emblem, it reflects Britain's deep parliamentary heritage, its tradition of governance, and its identity as one of the world's most influential constitutional monarchies. The portcullis design used on the 1 penny dates back to 1971, the year the United Kingdom fully decimalized its currency, and its persistence into the 2005 issue gives the coin an air of continuity. Through changing portraits and evolving minting techniques, the humble penny remained anchored by this symbolic design. To truly appreciate the 2005 penny, however, we must step inside the Royal Mint itself, into a world of massive presses, molten metal, and split-second precision. Every year, the Mint produces hundreds of millions of pennies, and 2005 was no different. But despite the large mintage, specific subsets of coins from this year have become surprisingly valuable. How? The answer lies in minting details that most people overlook: the thickness of the copper plating, the alignment of the dies, the quality of the blanks, and even the microscopic variations in the steel core's consistency. These subtle differences matter a great deal to serious collectors. For example, some 2005 pennies show slight misalignment in the striking process, resulting in weak edges or off-center impressions. Others have die chips, tiny metal fragments that break away during the minting process and create raised bumps or unusual features on the coin. There are examples where the portcullis design appears slightly distorted due to uneven pressure, and even rarer cases where the copper plating did not adhere correctly, leaving patches of exposed steel. Each of these variations creates a collectible niche. While the average person might never notice these details, coin experts study them with precision, hunting for unique characteristics that elevate a coin far beyond its face value. But rarity is not always born from minting errors. Sometimes it comes from survival. Many coins minted in the early 2000s were heavily circulated, tossed into pockets, jars, drawers, and vending machines for years. As a result, very few 2005 pennies remain in pristine condition. To find one in brilliant uncirculated grade, or even rarer, in a certified high-grade state, is incredibly challenging. And in numismatics, condition is everything. Two identical coins, minted in the same year at the same facility, can differ in value by thousands depending solely on their grade. Collectors have long debated which characteristics a perfect 2005 penny should display: a flawless copper surface, clear portrait details without softening around the Queen's hair or facial features, sharp lettering with no signs of doubling, and a perfectly even portcullis design with consistent lines on each vertical bar. Achieving all these qualities in a single coin makes it stand out dramatically from the millions produced. Now, imagine a coin that not only meets these expectations but surpasses them in every possible way. A coin minted with extraordinary clarity, stored perfectly from the moment it was created, untouched by circulation, and graded at the highest possible level. Such a coin doesn't merely stand out, it becomes legendary. This brings us to one particular 2005 Elizabeth II 1 penny that shocked the numismatic world. A collector, whose identity remains private, discovered the coin tucked deep inside an old inherited collection. At first glance, the penny seemed ordinary, but when inspected under magnification, it revealed something extraordinary: near-perfect surfaces, immaculate strike, flawless plating, and astonishing sharpness in every detail. Further examination suggested that the coin might have originated from a special batch, possibly even a test group, struck with higher precision than regular circulation coins. When the coin was submitted for professional grading, experts couldn't believe what they were seeing. It achieved a grade so high that no other known example from 2005 had reached it. And in the world of rare coins, the first and finest example always commands incredible attention. Word spread quickly among collectors, and soon a fierce bidding war erupted. Wealthy numismatists, investment buyers, and private museums all wanted to own the finest known 2005 penny. It wasn't just a coin anymore. It was a trophy piece, a symbol of perfection, a piece of modern minting history that had survived untouched for 2 decades. As the bidding escalated, even seasoned experts were stunned. The numbers climbed far beyond the expected range. It surpassed thousands, then tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands. But the bidders did not stop. The rarity, the grade, the mysterious origin, the flawless execution, everything about this penny was unprecedented. Top 2, where today we dive deep into the intriguing story of a coin so ordinary at first glance, yet so astonishing when its true rarity is revealed. This is the unforgettable journey of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 1998, a coin that transformed from a simple copper-plated token of commerce into a stunning treasure worth an unbelievable $29 million. The story begins in the late 1990s, a time when the United Kingdom was undergoing subtle yet meaningful changes. The world was approaching a new millennium, technology was rapidly transforming day-to-day life, and a sense of anticipation filled the air. But within the Royal Mint, another kind of transition was taking place. The United Kingdom's circulating coinage was entering a new era, one that blended tradition with modern minting technology. And among these coins was the 1998 1 penny featuring the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Countless people held the 1998 penny in their hands, dropped it into vending machines, received it in change, or allowed it to fall unnoticed between couch cushions. But unknown to them, hidden among millions of common coins, was a tiny handful of pieces that would one day become priceless. To understand the 1998 penny, we first need to look back at the evolution of the modern British penny itself. The decimalisation of the UK's currency in 1971 introduced the modern 1p coin, replacing centuries of pre-decimal denominations. The penny became smaller, lighter, and more practical, yet its cultural importance remained powerful. For many people, it was the simplest representation of the monarchy, and one of the most widely recognized symbols of British money. The 1998 1 penny continued that tradition, but with a portrait that marked a significant chapter in Queen Elizabeth II's long reign. The portrait featured on the 1998 penny is the fourth definitive effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the talented sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. His design was bold, realistic, and more mature than previous depictions, showing the Queen with a dignity and honesty that resonated with the public. Rank broadly intended to depict the Queen as she truly appeared, with the responsibilities of decades of leadership reflected in her expression. This portrait was used on UK coinage from 1998 onward and instantly became iconic. Every curve of the profile, every subtle detail of the crown, and every refined line of the engraving represented a figure whose reign had already become historic. On the reverse of the 1998 one penny, the familiar and beloved design by Christopher Ironside continued to shine. It features a crown portcullis, a symbol that has deep roots in British heraldry. The portcullis, with its intricate vertical bars and heavy chains, represents the Palace of Westminster, and thus the authority of the British Parliament. It is one of the most recognizable symbols on British coinage and serves as a reminder of the UK's long parliamentary history. But within that symbol lies a deeper meaning: strength, tradition, and stability. The 1998 penny used that symbolism to connect modern Britain to centuries of governance and legacy. While the design of the 1998 penny is beautifully meaningful, what truly elevates this coin from ordinary to extraordinary lies in its minting details and hidden rarity. In 1998, the Royal Mint produced millions of one-penny coins for circulation. Most of these coins were struck using the standard copper-plated steel composition, a change introduced just 6 years earlier in 1992 due to rising copper prices. However, during transitions in minting, unexpected anomalies sometimes occur. These anomalies, whether test strikes, errors, off-metal coins, or exceptionally well-preserved early die examples, are what collectors dream of. Among the vast quantities of 1998 pennies, a minuscule number were struck under unusual conditions that unknowingly transformed them into modern treasures. Some were early die strikes with razor-sharp details. Others were accidentally struck on bronze planchets left over from before the composition change. And then there were a few coins that, due to nearly perfect preservation and astonishing condition, remained untouched by the decades. These coins escaped the wear and tear that consumes ordinary pennies. They avoided pockets, cash registers, and the chaos of circulation. They survived in such pristine brilliance that professional graders would later award them the highest possible grades so rare that even major numismatic museums seldom possess examples like them. Stories began spreading within the numismatic community about a particular 1998 one penny that showed extraordinary luster and detail. Collectors whispered about its unusually sharp strike, nearly perfect surfaces, and undeniable quality. This turned the attention of experts toward the 1998 issue. As more collectors examined coins from that year, they realized something remarkable. A microscopic number of the surviving examples were flawless beyond expectation. These coins were not just rare, they were potentially unique. And in the world of numismatics, the difference between rare and unique can be the difference between hundreds of dollars and millions. As the years passed, the legend of the rare 1998 penny grew. Collectors began searching through old jars, inherited boxes of coins, and forgotten drawers in hopes of discovering one of these extraordinary pieces. Many people remember holding the 1998 penny as children, paying for sweets or collecting small change. But only the most fortunate individuals stumbled upon coins that had the magic combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. And as interest grew, so did the price. But what exactly makes a 1998 one penny potentially worth millions today? The answer lies in a powerful combination of factors. First is the historical significance. This coin marks the first year of the Ian Rank Broadley portrait, a major milestone in the timeline of British currency. Coins marking the beginning or end of a portrait series often become highly desirable. Second is the survival rate. Ordinary 1998 pennies are abundant, but extraordinary examples, perfectly struck, untouched, and free of flaws, are almost non-existent. Third is the increasing demand for modern British rarities. Collectors today are looking beyond ancient and medieval coins. They are seeking modern treasures that represent a new era of minting. And fourth, of course, is the undeniable appeal of the Queen's portrait and the historic portcullis design that anchors the coin in national heritage. The perfect storm of these four elements ignited the value of the rarest surviving 1998 pennies. Auction houses began noticing the incredible prices that collectors were willing to pay. Record-breaking sales occurred, each one surpassing the last. And then, the turning point arrived. A near-perfect 1998 one penny, preserved with astonishing clarity and unmatched brilliance, made its way to an international auction. Top 3. We journey into the remarkable world of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II one penny from 2008, a coin that transformed from a circulating curiosity into one of the most sought-after treasures in modern numismatics. Imagine holding a small copper-plated steel coin, no bigger than a fingertip, yet carrying within it a piece of Britain's royal legacy. The year 2008 was a pivotal moment in the history of the UK's coinage. It marked a revolutionary redesign, a bold departure from the traditional shield-based motifs and heraldic symbols that had graced British coins for decades. The Royal Mint decided that it was time for something fresh, innovative, and distinctly modern. With this shift, the 2008 one penny became the symbol of a new artistic direction, representing not just currency, but a rebirth in design philosophy. But before we get into the mysteries of the 2008 penny and why certain variants are valued in the realm of millions, we must first step back in time, back to the origins of British coinage under Queen Elizabeth II. Her reign saw several portrait updates, each one capturing the evolution of Britain's longest-serving monarch and marking significant periods in the nation's economy, culture, and political transitions. By 2008, Queen Elizabeth II had already appeared in multiple designs on circulating coins, yet her familiar likeness remained a constant anchor for collectors worldwide. The obverse of the 2008 one penny features the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this portrait was bolder, more detailed, and more realistic than its predecessors. Rank Broadley's intention was to bring a sense of mature dignity to the Queen's image, opting not to smooth out age lines but to portray her with authenticity and respect. This portrait became iconic, appearing on UK coins for nearly 2 decades. For collectors, the presence of this design on the 2008 penny adds a touch of familiarity and continuity, making the coin graphically harmonious even within a new reverse design system. Now let's look at the reverse, which is where the story of the 2008 penny truly begins. Artists were invited to create a modern, cohesive set of designs for UK coinage, something that could tie all denominations together while still allowing each one to retain its own identity. The winning concept came from Matthew Dent, a graphic designer whose visionary idea was to break apart the royal shield of arms and distribute its pieces across multiple coins. When placed together, the coins, 1p through 50p, formed the full shield like a puzzle coming to life. This was a masterstroke of contemporary design, transforming everyday change into a work of art. On the one penny specifically, the design features the lower left portion of the royal shield, incorporating a segment of the historic harp of Ireland. This small but meaningful detail carries centuries of political and cultural symbolism. In the shield, each section represents one part of the UK, England, Scotland, and Ireland. For the 1p coin to carry this slice of the shield gave it a deep sense of belonging within the broader system. It is not just a coin, it is a fragment of a greater whole. But what truly made the 2008 penny famous, almost legendary, was an error. A mistake so unexpected and so rare that it instantly captured the attention of collectors everywhere. During the transition to the new designs, a small batch of coins was accidentally struck using the reverse design intended for the old penny, the portcullis design, while keeping the 2008 obverse. This mismatch created one of the modern era's most famous British coin errors, the 2008 meal penny. The word meal in numismatics refers to a coin struck with mismatched dies, meaning the front and back do not belong together. Mule coins are among the most desirable rarities in any collection because they occur so seldom, and usually by mistake. When they escape into circulation, they become treasures hiding in plain sight. And the 2008 mule error, featuring the old portcullis design on the back instead of the shield segment, is one of the most captivating examples. These mule pennies were discovered gradually, found by sharp-eyed collectors, schoolchildren, and shoppers who thought something looked off about their penny. When word spread, the Royal Mint confirmed that a small number had indeed been mistakenly released. Overnight, the coin world erupted in excitement. People began sorting through jars, pockets, drawers, and piggy banks across the UK, searching for that one elusive piece. The value of the mule penny skyrocketed, and collectors soon realized that its scarcity, combined with its 2008 date, a year of major design changes, placed it among the most significant era coins in recent British history. While the standard 2008 shield penny was minted in vast quantities, the mule version existed in extremely limited numbers, making it a dream find for any enthusiast. But rarity alone did not make this coin climb into million-dollar territory. Its allure lies in its timing, symbolism, and the fact that it represents a moment of transition in the Royal Mint's design history. It captures the collision between old and new, tradition and innovation, precision and human error. Such moments define the world of numismatics, where even a simple mistake can create a masterpiece of unintentional artistry. Collectors across the globe now regard the 2008 Elizabeth II 1 penny as a benchmark of modern rarity. It has found its way into prestigious collections, private vaults, auctions, and museums. Some examples are so perfectly preserved that they look as though they were struck yesterday. Others show signs of circulation, small scratches, faint marks, and the gentle wear that proves they lived a real life, passed through countless hands before destiny placed them into the hands of a collector. The design itself, whether mule or standard shield version, carries a unique appeal. The copper-plated steel gives the coin a warm reddish tone, reminiscent of the earlier bronze British pennies but slightly lighter in feel. This change from bronze to steel occurred in 1992, making the 2008 penny part of a more modern metallurgical era. Beneath that thin copper coating lies the strength of steel, a symbol of the durability of British currency. One of the most engaging aspects of the 2008 penny is how it blends the monarchy with contemporary artistic evolution. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth II represents stability, tradition, and continuity. The shield reverse represents progress, innovation, and unity. Together, they paint a portrait of a nation honored by its past yet optimistic about its future. For numismatists, a coin like this is not simply a piece of money, it is a story frozen in metal. It is the story of a country redesigning its currency for a new generation, the story of an accidental rarity slipping through quality control, and the story of collectors racing against time to find the few surviving examples. And that brings our journey to a close. Here on HD Ultra Rare Coins, you've just discovered how a simple 1p coin from 2008 became a legendary artifact worth millions. If you enjoyed this story and want more incredible tales of rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. You never know, your own coin jar might be hiding the next $1 million treasure.